Hey guys, how's it going? It is April 11th, 2016, 7:31 p.m. I apologize to those I was supposed to get some stuff done yesterday and today, but for some reason I kind of got distracted a little bit. And this video has nothing to do with trains. Okay, and I know most of my YouTubes are. But since I got a nice microphone now, and since I've been distracted, I figure let me try to explain what this is about. You see a desktop picture. First of all, let me explain what it's about. That way, if you're not interested in this, you can go away and I'll put the title. So hopefully, if you're interested, you can find out more and waste 15 minutes of your life. And if not, well, maybe you'll learn something in 15 minutes of your life. First of all, conspiracy theories. I am a huge believer or quote unquote truther as far as a lot of conspiracies out there. I'm not, I guess you'd call you'd say the tinfoil conspiracy hat, believe everything is not real and believe that, the government's nothing but lies to you and nothing on TV's real, nothing on the internet's real, nothing's real. Well, the fact of the matter is there's a lot of things that are real. We still live, we still do, things that we see for our own eyes, for example, I think is the best thing to do. If you can't, I wouldn't trust the computers, I wouldn't trust books in your schools, I wouldn't trust even the education that you've got to prepare you for life. But there's one thing that's going on right now, and it's a big, huge, quote unquote, conspiracy theory going on. I don't know if it's a conspiracy theory. I guess it is. I'm one who's always been interested in astronomy, so I suppose I have a bias because I used to watch. I don't watch much TV, but I used to watch all the different sci-fi stuff. So I've always had a thing for sci-fi. So right away, I suppose I have a bias in believing that we are on a spherical planet that is a globe, just looking like everything else. I don't know all the things about the universe or the science behind it, but I do know what I can see from my own eyes, unless that's not real. Unless we're looking at a giant projection screen that surrounds the Earth or something. I don't know. No, I do know. It isn't that. But the big theory is now going around the flat Earth. And like I said, the last day I have been here. I'll show you something here. These are all the different videos out here. There's this video here. It shows that the Earth is flat. It really doesn't prove anything because the GoPro actually has a like a fisheye type view, so it does turn, and this is somehow supposed to. I don't get this video at all. But then there's somebody arguing with me on here. SpaceX just had a historic rocket landing on a drone ship. If you haven't seen that, that thing is cool. But apparently that's all fake. Feminists? Nah, we don't have to worry about that. That's some other. I won't get into that. That's for another day. The Arctic expedition, because if you believe in flat Earth, the flat Earth conspiracy, basically up here in Canada, around the North Pole is the center of the universe, or the center of everything is around the Earth, and Antarctica surrounds us in a big giant circle, and the sun goes around in a circle, and I don't know what it does in the seasons. I really don't know some of the theories, but some of the arguments against what we supposedly see, and this was the argument that I posed. And the problem is, you get into these YouTube conversations with people, and of course, it starts coming up on your email box, and then it's crazy. You start getting into these long-waited conversations, and no matter what you say, whether it be one simple thing, for years, this is an interesting picture because this is of a lighthouse, and your own naked eye can only see so far. I take this as I believe this is in Atlantic Canada. Uh, Mariners who's traveling at sea, they can only see so far with their own naked eye. Light travels so far. You can only see basically so far with your naked eye until something becomes brighter. So lights at night can travel a little bit further. You'd see the light further at night than you would see this tower at the daylight, for example, or even the coast. So at night, in clear weather or with the foghorns or whatever, this would guide ships before the age of computers and the technology from satellites known as GPS, which is in all the systems. And I guess these are magically flying. They're not orbiting the Earth. I guess they're flying around in a circle somehow. And I don't know. I don't know the theories enough, and I'm not going to get into the theories. But here's one of the theories that's been argued about. And that is that the sun is supposedly only 2,000 kilometers above us. It runs around this little circle. Do I have a thing of that somewhere? I don't see it. Yeah, there it is. This is if you see that picture right here, and this is similar to the United Nations picture, which is also part of the conspiracy because the map of the United Nations is exactly like this. So I can't blow this up anymore, but what you're seeing here is you're seeing all the continents. Antarctica is along the side, supposedly. Um, that's what, and there's some good videos on debunking all this, which is crazy, and there's just as much stuff that debunks it, and it's crazy. I spent the time. I was like, yeah, this is crap. And there's too many quote unquote theories that flat earthers are saying that have been debunked, and at the same time, no, I can't prove everything because I've never been in outer space, so I can't say I've been there and I can see the Earth. But I can see from my telescope, I can see planets out there. I've seen Saturn, I've seen others. But here's the big thing, and this is the one that I'm going to end this argument. I'm going to post this up on YouTube. And if people want to come to my channel and argue with me, I don't care. I'm not. I don't care if I get subscribers. I don't care if I turn off people. I don't care if I get thumbs down. Whoopee. I don't care. I just had to get this out in the open. My point of the matter was when I was doing a calculation, 40,000 kilometers at the equator of the sun. What that eventually means is the Earth is traveling at about 1,600 kilometers an hour. And that freaks people out because flat earthers will say, well, how come you can't feel it? Well, that's because there's, yes, we're rotating, but the air and everything that goes with it, it's just like if you're inside a place where there's no air, you're not going to feel it. But I don't know. I don't even know if that's an argument. But anyways, forget I even said that. Um, let's say, for example, so it's traveling at 27 kilometers a minute. What they're saying is that if this was all flat and this went on forever and doesn't actually basically turn, like, because you got the beyond the horizon is when it dips off. You can't see the curvature of the Earth here, not from your perspective. But the sun, let's say it's setting, and what they're saying is the sun gets smaller, which is true. At least it appears smaller. It's an optical thing because if you ever watch a moon rise, you will notice that the moon is bigger, and then as it gets higher in the sky, it looks smaller. So that the moon is supposedly like not a satellite. It's supposed to be some kind of giant beam as well, and the sun's supposed to be a heat lamp or something. It's 2,000 kilometers. It just happens to be above us or whatever. Like, give me a break. So but anyways, here's the thing. Okay, take a telescope, and I've done this actually on a sunset, and I could do the same thing on a sunrise, and I know people who have been out to sea that can have done the same thing because a lot of people will get their binoculars, which has a better optical than your eyes. And if it was 2,000 kilometers above the surface and it stayed in perspective as it's still traveling along, it wouldn't just vanish on as a big spear. Even though it appears smaller as it sets, it would actually go to a speckle of light, just like the stars in the sky, the further it goes away, right? Now they say, well, that's because it gets to geometry and all that other stuff. Um, that doesn't. I mean, to me, that doesn't explain that at 2,000 kilometers, which is pretty high. I mean, there's topography and there's all kinds of things. Um, or yeah, 2,000 kilometers is it? I don't know what the heck it's supposed to be. Whatever they say it is. So let's say it's 2,000 kilometers high. That's higher than anything on the Earth for one. But you're looking at this over the ocean, okay? And you're looking through a telescope. Why is it that if it's not optical, if it's an optical thing where your eyes can no longer see it because it's flat, why then can you look through a telescope and not see it? I mean, isn't that a logical question? And I really didn't get an answer to that. I was say, well, because mountains are in the way or topography's in the way. No, you're looking over an ocean, or you're looking across a lake that's over 100 kilometers, and this sun is moving at 23 kilometers. By rights, if that's the case, I should be able to see it for 3 or 4 more minutes through an optic. Even though the optic is not the most powerful thing, there's other devices that are even more powerful than optics. The optics are still better than your human eye, and if the human eye no longer sees it and you go to a telescope and you no longer see it, well, guess what? It's not there. It's gone. It's on the other side of the freaking planet. I mean, that to me, if there's somebody out there that can explain to me, and I've already tried to ask for an explanation. There's people who've been at this for months. I've only been at this for about a day, and you know, I give up because they can't answer that. They can't. They say, well, no, you got to learn this, or you got to go see this, or you got to go see it. No, just answer me a simple question. Why can't I see it? It's as simple as that. That's the one thing. Well, it's one thing. It's not all the theories they have, but if that's the main purpose of where the sun is, and then why is the moon inverted, and people are shooting guns when you shoot, you got snipers. They can't shoot directly at something because there's a curvature involved of the Earth because of how basically a bullet will travel because of the curvature of the Earth. Of course you can't see it at this perspective. But at the same time, if it's flat and it goes on forever, just like space, treat it like space. If a planet's getting closer or a comet's getting closer, I can see it. I can relatively see it getting bigger. It just doesn't all of a sudden have it being at a circle and then all of a sudden, boom, it's gone. It makes no sense at all. But anyways, I thought I'd put that out there, and I just put that YouTube video out just for comical relief, I guess. But if anybody can prove me wrong or point me to an explanation as to why I'm wrong, I'll certainly take the time to look it up. But as the rest of the theories go, I've spent enough time on this crap for one day, and I want to get back to some other things that I've been working on. So anyways, I hope you enjoy that. Thumbs down if you don't like it. I can take it. Talk to you later.